Despite the ANC National Disciplinary Committee's judgment, former Gauteng Health MEC Dr. Bandele Masuku does have a case to answer for. That's according to the Special Investigating Unit. The SIU is warning that statements made by the former health MEC are misleading the public. It's calling on Masuku to lodge a court appeal rather than issue statements. The investigative body submitted evidence and successfully argued before the full bench of the High Court that Masuku failed to exercise his responsibility in the oversight of the Gauteng Health Department. To discuss the story further, I'm joined by Kaizer Kganyago, spokesperson for the SIU. Thank you for joining me this afternoon, Kaizer. Let's ask, how should the public now see this issue? If Dr. Masuku has made one statement, you're saying, stop making these statements, go to court. How should the public see this?
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers. It is very clear that we had made a report that we gave to the Premier, and in the report we were very clear that we are looking at him having neglected his duties. It was the issue of him as the executive authority having done what they were supposed to do to stop this corruption that was happening. Therefore, from where we are sitting, we are clear that is the only thing that we dealt with. For him to now go and say that the court has made a ruling that is not corrupt, that cannot be justified, because at the end of the day, that was never a matter that was before the court. We are worried because he goes around brandishing himself as having been exonerated, but also he goes further to say that we as the SIU has made him the poster boy of corruption, and which is wrong. But also he says that the court has said that whatever conclusion we came to was just an opinion. But that cannot be. If you read paragraph 65(1) of the judgment, you will see the first line of that judgment says, Dr. Masuku was neglectful of his duties as illustrated in his failure to attend to his email despite being the critical leadership position, in a leadership position. So that in itself is indicating that he is interpreting it wrong and he's sending wrong messages out there.
Okay, so if he is, let's say, guilty of neglect, as you're saying now, that's what the court has said, that he failed to do his duties responsibly, he failed to be accountable for his responsibilities of oversight. What censure is there for him? What should he be walking around his neck with at this point?
Yes, you must understand that that report was given to the Premier, who is the direct report that he has. And the Premier, what we said in that report is the Premier must sort of, it is not discipline, but must exercise the executive sanction against him. And that executive sanction was done as the Premier then decided on his own to relieve him of his duties. Therefore, he then took the SIU to court to try and set aside that report that we have done. And he failed. And to show that he has failed, he has gone to the next, the court went to the next level of ordering that he pay us the cost of that judgment, of that court case. And the court would not have given a punitive order like that if he was right the way that he was putting it.
Now, you say he's not been exonerated of corruption because you have not investigated that particular charge yet. Is that your intention going forward?
Yes, at the time of our report to the Premier, we made it very clear that the investigations are still going on and we cannot make any finding now around his involvement or any other person's involvement at the time or on the issue of corruption. Therefore, for him to say he has been exonerated by the court can't be true, because all the court was saying is the SIU said that they have not dealt with this matter as yet. We are not saying that he might be found guilty or not, but we are saying that was not the issue that was before the court. All that we're dealing with was the administrative part of this report, and now we are finalizing the criminal side. And once, if we find that there's been corruption is a criminal offense, we then have to take that matter to the National Prosecuting Authority and the Hawks to take it further. Therefore, you cannot just say the court has ruled in your favor when that is not the case.
And just to wrap up, so how long before you are able to put this in front of the court or in front of Dr. Masuku, this accusation of corruption, whether it is or not? I know you're investigating it, but how much more time?
Yes, we are finalizing our reports to the President, and we were hopeful that the cases that are before us will be done by August this year. and that relates to PPEs. And like I always say, we don't investigate people. I don't want us to come to a situation where we say we want to investigate Masuku on whether he was corrupt or not. If the evidence leads us to him, yes. But if the evidence doesn't lead us to him, so be it, because we are not here about personalities. We are here to deal with the processes and the issues that are before us.
Thank you very much. Kaizer Kganyago, spokesperson for the SIU.